Shalom.
Shalom. This is Awake, O Israel Ministries, coming to you from Jacksonville, Florida, where we're blessed to know the truth of the word, coming into this understanding 8 years ago. Going on 8 years, right, brothers?
Yes.
So, shalom to every one of you out there who have truth and understanding. We ask for small donations to josh.lavio@gmail.com. Please send what you can. We don't ask for tithes. Just send what you can. Thank you. And we have a lot of the many of the Lost Sea Scroll books, and there are many pastors out there that really should find out about these books, because they are real.
A lot of wisdom,
a lot of understanding. It follows the word closely. The 66 books. We have the apocryphal books. We have the lost books of Eden, the lost books of the Bible. But we have Yashayah, Enoch. We have a bunch of them in there. Blessed. They're really blessed books, and you really need to get them. You really need to get them, because it opens up a whole new highway of learning, really, in understanding in the word. Where the Bible does, it does. There's 66
that the Most High doesn't want you to have.
Right. Because the Christian church was told, listen, and you know you were told this, if you're Christians out there and you're listening for the first time, and we don't blast any Christian, but you were taught that Malachi, after Malachi, the Most High was silent for 400 years. Mm-hmm. Where'd you get that?
So we have we're going to talk about beware of lies tonight.
Good.
Very good topic. Beware of lies.
Beware of lies. That's right.
So the origin of lies, of course, we know from the account in the book of Genesis, was with Satan, when he told Eve that you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
There's another Jubilee book in there,
right?
No, I think he has it, because I put them together. So
yeah, it's in there.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, son.
So Satan lied the first time to Adam and Eve.
And he's still lying today. Through religion, he lies.
So what he does is he made Eve believe by making her feel as if she was less inadequate, much like that's how the system works today. They feed on your inadequacies or your inferiorities, or you're not inferior, your insecurities. So like they make what are car commercials? They make you feel like you don't have nothing unless you have their car. Clothes, unless you dress in their clothes,
their styles,
unless you wear their jewelry, you're not hip. See, they're still dealing with that forbidden knowledge, and we know from the accounts of the Bible, and as well as the books that were purposely removed out of the Bible to hide information from you, the book of Enoch, the book of Jubilees, which you can all get on your phones. If you have a smartphone, you can download them off your Play stores, or you can get them on Amazon. Then the first, after the flood came, before the flood, we had what we know as angels, fallen angels. The fallen angels came down and began to sleep with women and impregnate them in the form of men. I mean, let me start that over. angels came down and transformed themselves
into men
and slept with women.
That's right.
Made them pregnant, and their offspring became giants upon the earth. And those giants ended up being worshipped by mortal men as gods, as Zeus, Jupiter, Apollo, Venus, all these other gods, all these other mythologies are based on gods that lived before the flood, the giants. So what happened was, after the flood, and we're going to show you this in the sacred text, in these sacred texts. Now, all these books are inspired.
All of them.
Okay, these are inspired
Everyone.
writings.
That's right.
Okay. So, and that's why they had to train people through theology to only focus on the 66 books, because, and there's nothing wrong with the 66 books. It's just that unless you understand what you're reading while you're reading it, it leaves blanks. Like, why did this happen? Or what was the purpose of this? You know, like, people don't even know the purpose of the Tower of Babel unless you have the book of Yashayah.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Right?
Because it leaves off.
The book of Yashayah tells us that, and we're going to show you that. We're going to show you the progression. So the original lie was that you can be like God if you eat off of the tree of knowledge. Now, God isn't against having knowledge. It's knowledge of the wrong things He doesn't want you to have.
Mm-hmm.
God never meant us to know sin, sickness, death. That was never in His plan.
That's right.
He never intended for one person to die of cancer. All those things are evil or demonic. And the Bible even says there's demons that bring sicknesses.
That's right.
And in fact, if you don't have these lost books, you'll never really understand where demons come from. Because the lost books tell us,
especially
that the demons are the disembodied spirits of the giants.
Wow. Wow.
Okay? So now we begin to understand what Christ was casting out. So demons just didn't pop up during crisis time. Yes, they manifested more, but they were here before the flood in the form of a giant and when the giants' mortal bodies died in the flood, their spirits became demons, or what Enoch calls evil spirits or demons.
Evil spirits on the earth. They had a heavenly place once. Now they're tormented on the earth. So they bring torment and wars and trouble and people.
So let's start tonight in the book of Matthew.
Chapter.
Matthew 24:36.
I don't want you to be upset. If there's a Christian listening, please listen close. Billy Graham has made up his own doctrine that spread through the Baptist church in his time, that if you ask Christ in your heart, you're saved. There is no scripture, right, guys, that backs that, what he says. There is none. None.
Not one.
Not one. So now you know all those crusades he did, all that stuff they lift him up with is heresy, all lies, all blasphemy.
Okay. We're going to go into the book of the Apostle Matthew, 24:36.
All right, 36. All right. Ready? Matthew 24:36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man.
So no man knows the time, the exact minute of Christ's return, but the Father. So no man can tell you there's certain events that are going to happen chronologically that will lead to Christ's return, because then you'll be able to estimate when he's coming back.
Mm-hmm. No.
So there's no rapture.
Right. No, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only.
But who?
Ahayah only.
So only the Most High
That's
understand
right.
or knows exactly when Christ is coming back. But there are signs you can follow, but
not in the days of Noah.
Not in a certain order where you can, when people are trying to, that's unbiblical. People trying to say, well, he's coming this year, that year.
Yeah, right.
No, that's unbiblical.
Yeah, that's false. That's false prophets, Josh.
But
as the days of Noah were.
As the days of who?
Noah were.
As the days of who?
Noah.
Read.
So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
So the same events, or the same, not only earthly events, but supernatural events that were happening right before the time that Noah, the flood happened, the deluge happened, the same supernatural events will be happening right before the return of Christ.
So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating, drinking.
So they, meaning, now who are they? Now if you read,
if you break it down right,
if you read, and we're, of course, we're not going to go through all the scriptures, but we're going to go through the main ones I want to pull out. If you understand, God made marriage. That's in Genesis 2, when he brought the man to the woman.
He instituted the man who wanted to be.
He's not flooding the earth because of men marrying women. Because then he would be destroying something he created.
Right. And the Christian church.
No, so this marriage that Christ, the Most High, destroyed was an immoral marriage between fallen angels and women.
Yeah, let me say something.
That were masquerading the angels were masquerading themselves as men.
Right. See, when we were in Christianity, Josh, we were taught that it's just regular people marrying, men's daughters. No,
that would make no sense, because then he made.
Why would he destroy marriage? Right.
That he made marriage.
That's right.
So the marriage here is an immoral. It is an immoral union between an angel and a heavenly being and an earthly creature. Read.
They were eating and drinking.
So now they began to act like men, regular people.
Marrying.
So meaning they were eating. So the giants. The giants, or the Nephilim, their children, not only ate with the people, they began to consume people.
They were eating them.
And if the Most High did not flood the earth, the giants would have destroyed mankind. They would have eaten them.
That's right. Now, I believe this means drinking, marrying, and giving in marriage. It doesn't mean, look at it again, Mary. Tony, and drinking, marrying, and giving in marriage. So why would he mention marrying again? So giving in means they were divorcing too, until the day that Noah, they left people. They had sex with them, and they went to other women. Noah entered into the ark and knew not until the flood came and took them all away.
So giving in marriage means exactly the same as marrying. So the fallen angels were being given women to marry by earthly fathers, not knowing these were angels, because
that's twofold.
Because they were in the form of a man. So
that's good, and took them all away. so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
So now let's go into the book of Genesis.
All right.
Now this is what is called precepting.
Right. Without precepts, you can't understand the Bible.
When you're not taught how to read the Bible correctly, that also creates blanks. And you read a passage in Scripture and you don't understand really what the purpose of it or what it's trying to tell you.
And all that yelling and screaming when they preach on 3 words, Josh, it's ridiculous. Instead of going to the precept. All right, where are we going, Josh? Genesis where?
6.
6? Okay. Look, I opened it right up. So that's just another explanation of the giving in marriage too, because it had to be because he had to destroy the earth because it got so corrupt. They were doing everything wrong. They weren't even staying with these daughters. They were knocking up one daughter and going to another one, and going to another one.
Uh-huh.
All right, ready? Enoch 6, beginning, Josh.
Genesis 6.
I'm sorry. Well, like Genesis 6, okay. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth.
Uh-huh.
Look at that, face of the earth, flat earth. And daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God, that means the angels of the Most High. You see that? Number 2, guys, out there.
Uh-huh.
The sons of God, that means the angels of the Most High, saw the daughters of men that they were fair.
Uh-huh.
And that's where they stumped me when I was a Christian. They watch.
So what exactly the way this reads? So the angels of God, or the sons of God, according to the Bible, which are angels, looked out of heaven and saw these black women.
White women.
These black women, and also the angels are black. Enoch 1, Ezekiel 1.
That's right.
5 through 7.
That's right.
So these were black angels sinning and sleeping with black women. Okay, but so what happened is these angels looked down from heaven and saw these beautiful sisters and lusted for them, and that lust caused them to leave their heavenly abode and descend upon Mount Hermon, and we're going to show you that in the book of Enoch.
Okay.
Read. And the Most High said, "My spirit shall not strive with man."
How do you read last time? Okay.
For he also is flesh. Why? Because the angels started to defile man's blood. They started to create hybrid bloodlines.
Right.
And these hybrid bloodlines would end up being what we call today the Illuminati.
Go on.
These are the people that rule over the world, and for their rulership, they have to worship Satan. They have to sacrifice children. They have to drink blood, just like Satan. They have to kill. They have to have continual wars. Why is there continual wars in the earth? Why? Because Satan needs bloodshed.
That's right. Sacrifice.
He needs sacrifices to empower him. Or the people that rule the earth know that they need bloodshed to worship their God. So these wars are no more than sacrifices to Satan.
And at the expense of the American people, they don't care who it is. There were giants in the earth.
There were what?
There were giants.
There were what?
There were giants. Oh, no, wait.
Stop.
Wait. And
how do you get a giant out of a regular two people?
Wait, I skipped. My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he is also flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. Yes, I'm sorry.
There were giants in the earth.
That's right.
So how do you get a giant out of a regular, just one person, a man and woman?
Look at that.
Sleeping together.
That's
so
right.
You know, just without reading the rest of the Bible, as soon as you read that, you have to know the sons of God cannot be men, regular mortals. They have to be something out of this world.
Mm-hmm.
Because giants are 30, 40 feet tall.
That's right.
Now, little giants are like 9 to 18 feet tall. Okay, there's different classes of giants. Okay, there's giants, there's Nephilim, there's giants and Nephilim.
Hold on.
So what was?
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Josh.
What was Goliath? He was a Nephilim. He was a little giant. Read.
I want you to see something back at two. That the sons of God. Watch this. It's here again. Look, the angels of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children unto them. The same became mighty men, giants, which were of old, men of renown.
Uh-huh.
So right there it tells you.
So these giants became worshipped as gods, and philosophies became around their origin. That's what the world calls mythologies. Now,
that's right.
Now, we know one philosophy that people love to follow is the virgin birth philosophy. And that's a big thing through Christianity. There's no such thing as a child coming out of nowhere without a father. Okay?
Come on.
You must have a seed, a sperm and an egg to produce a baby. That's all.
The Greek word.
Regardless of who the child is, you must have a seed, an egg, and a sperm together to make a child. There is no other way children come into the earth.
No one.
And we can show you that in the Wisdom of Solomon.
And the Most High saw that the wickedness of men.
Why was the wickedness of man? And we're going to show you this. This is why, like I showed you. Well, I'll show you them again before we close. And we're gonna have them on our screen here.
Take your time.
That's why. Okay. Hold on. Say something right fast.
Okay.
I'm gonna get the book.
This is a great lesson because, without understanding and without doing research and without all these other books that you really need, right, Mary, to understand the Bible, you never will understand it fully.
The book of Yashayah. Okay.
You want to finish it here?
We're gonna have fun tonight. Okay. We're gonna read a little. We're gonna mostly be reading tonight.
We'll show them the books.
Then we'll close after we do our reading.
We want to show you these books too, just in case you are a new viewer.
So what happened was, man became corrupted not only through the giants, but they began to be the angels gave the giants theology or philosophy, and the giants began to teach man how to rebel against the Most High and make themselves wicked. Not to mention the giants were cannibals, and they were the first cannibals, and they would eat people. So, like I just said, if God didn't destroy the earth, the giants would have eaten everybody, including Noah. Now, Noah was perfect in that his bloodline,
his generation, that's right.
His bloodline was perfect.
That's right.
In other words, nobody in his bloodline had angel DNA in them.
Wow, awesome.
Okay?
That's right.
And that's why the seed of Israel would end up coming through Noah. Okay? Because he was from
purity.
He was from Adam. He was the 8th from Adam. Okay?
Wow.
So now keep reading.
And Ahayah saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil all the time, continually. And it repented the Most High that he had made man on the earth. And it grieved him at his mind. And Ahayah said, I will destroy man.
Now, watch this. He said he will destroy man. Why? Because women slept with angels.
Mm-hmm.
And then the angels started teaching mankind through the giants, fallen technology, fallen science.
Come on.
All these hidden things
mm-hmm.
that men were never meant to know.
Hybrid,
okay?
That's right.
Right. Read.
I have created from the face of the earth. There's the flat earth again. Both man. What's this? Oh, I thought all the animals got in the ark. Listen, and beast and the creeping thing. So you know that there were some animals that had to be left here and destroyed.
Yeah, not every animal was on the ark.
Come on. And the fowls of the air.
Yeah, because God had to destroy the animals.
Tell them why, Josh.
That the giants and the fallen angels created.
Come on.
Through technology, through gene splicing.
That's right.
Stop. Listen to this, everybody. This is the book of Yashayah 4.
You should get us on there so we can show them.
Here's the book of Yashayah.
You want to show them? All right, before we get off, we're going to show you these 3 books we have.
And you can, like I have it right here for everybody.
Oh,
the
right.
book of Yashayah.
And listen, brothers and sisters, on the
look, it tells you where it was referenced in the Bible.
I'm just going to read that. Referenced in Joshua 10:3, 2 Samuel 11:18, and 2 Timothy 3:8. So you know it coincides with the Bible.
Chapter 4 and chapter 4.
All right, where, Josh?
16.
All right. We're going to Joshua chapter 4, verse 16.
And it's right there for everybody, so you can follow us.
And all the sons of men departed from the ways of the Most High in those days, as they multiplied upon the face of the earth, flat earth.
Just like we read in Genesis account.
With sons and daughters, and they taught one another their evil practices.
So as the angels were continuing to impregnate women, the giants were teaching man the teachings of their fathers, the angels, and those things were corrupting people, making them worship idols.
And they continued sinning against the Most High. And every man made unto himself a god.
So who were the original gods before people starting to make idols? Idolatry did not start until after the flood.
That's right.
Who were the original gods? The angel, the giants.
That's right.
The giants were where do you think we get titans from? Zeus, Apollo, these were titans.
Hercules.
These were titans or giants, that the seed of the angels. So what happened was these angels, these giants, then became worshipped through the pagans, through pantheistic theology, philosophy, as gods, and they were the giants. And their fathers became worshipped as planets.
Wow.
Right? Like, where do we get Jupiter or Mars or Venus? All these planets are actually Roman and Greek giants or fallen angels.
That's right.
There's no planets. There's no galaxies. There's no such thing as these things in the Bible. These are all philosophies that have been here since the fallen angels and the giants taught man these things.
That's right.
And every man made unto himself a god, and
robbed and plundered every man his neighbor, as well as his relative. And they corrupted the earth.
And they what?
Corrupted the earth.
So the fallen angels corrupted the earth, and because of this,
the earth was filled with violence.
Go
ahead, Josh.
Read.
And then went to the daughters of men, excuse me, and took their wives by force.
So they raped them. They raped the fallen angels. Raped these women. That's why God destroyed the earth. Read.
From their husbands according to their choice. And the sons of men in those days took from the cattle of the earth and beasts of the field.
So this is explaining now why God destroyed certain animals in the flood.
Wow. Good. This is good, Josh. Yeah, we're picking it up in Genesis, ready? And taught the mixture of animals.
Transspeciesism.
Come on.
Or that,
like the science are doing today.
Now, again, everything is passed down. When our children go to school and they're taught science, one of the sciences they are taught is gene splicing or transspeciesism. How to take the DNA out of one animal and mix it into another and make a hybrid species of animal.
Wow.
That's what that science was brought to us through the fallen angels.
That's right.
Read.
In order therewith to provoke the Most High.
Read.
And Ahayah saw the whole earth, and it was corrupt. For all flesh had corrupted its ways upon earth, all men and all animals.
Stop. Okay, now let's go. I want to show them. Now, if we're not going to show you, we're going to show you something else here.
I want to throw something out to him real quick, Josh, if you don't mind. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I am pretty sure about this. There are animals on the earth today that the Most High didn't create, and they're here today.
I believe that,
and I believe they're the alligator. I believe they're the reptiles, and there's plenty of proof, Mary, in the sea. Because after the flood, don't forget now, Tony, guys, the whole world was covered. If the flood covered Mount Ararat, it covered the whole world. So they're even finding proof in Arizona. And what's that big thing, that canyon, the Grand Canyon? They're finding stuff there from Noah's flood. They're finding the
most say that the Grand Canyon was cut out by the flood.
Look at that. See?
When God opened up the earth beneath.
When he opened up the earth, Tony, when the water came from the deep. So you know. Now watch this. What I'm saying is to say this. There are a lot of people who watch these animal programs. You know, like what do you call it, Mary? The fish in the sea, all that. What do you call that? The Animal Planet. All that. You see those weird fish? The Most High didn't create them.
Watch this. Now,
go ahead, John.
We're going to show you quickly the purpose of the Tower of Babel. Now, if you read that in Genesis 11, it's really not explained what they were trying to do. Now, we're going to show you.
Now, watch how it picks it up here.
What the purpose of the Tower of Babel was.
And don't think for one second that listen, you're reading it too. We're showing you. You need these books, or you're never going to understand the Bible right. And it'll always be hidden from you, especially in these temples on Sundays. They won't show you. They say, well, the 66 books is enough. No, it's not enough. I had no education, right, Mary? I didn't go to school. I was out of school 12, 13 years old.
We're going to start with 20.
I'm learning now at 65 to 70.
24, and I'll read then.
What we doing, John? Where are we, John?
24.
23.
And they began to make bricks and burn them.
And they began to make bricks and burn fires to build the city and the tower, and they had imagined to complete.
Read.
And the building of the tower was unto them a transgression.
So they knew they were sinning when they were doing this.
And a sin. And they began to build it. And they were building against the Most High power.
So they knew. So all this knowledge, all they were building was eventually to fight the Most High. Now, why do we have air forces?
Come on.
What's coming out of the air eventually?
Wow.
See,
Go ahead.
the same thing, different time. So
Wow.
the
Nothing's
military,
changed.
every military is set up eventually to fight the Messiah. Okay? They're not there to save you or protect you. They're there to fight Christ's return.
Wow.
Read.
Wow. They imagine in their hearts to war against him and to ascend into heaven.
To do what?
Ascend.
No, ascend around heaven.
Wow. Into heaven.
So heaven must be directly above.
Right.
Like we observe.
I will ascend my throne above the stars. I will be like the Most High Power.
Right. Read.
And all these people and all the families divided themselves in 3 parts. The first said, we will ascend into heaven and fight against him.
Read.
The second said, we will ascend to heaven and place our own gods there.
Our own what?
Our own gods there.
Our own what?
Gods.
So who were these gods? The angels.
Wow.
So Nimrod was building this tower so the fallen angels could use it to go back into heaven, which means, see, this is why the world is trying to make you believe there's no supernatural realm. So this, even on a satanic level, this is how much the supernatural was closer to the natural back in because everyone knew where everything originated from back during
Go ahead, John.
during the time of Abraham and Nimrod. You couldn't tell nobody there were no gods because everyone knew there was one.
And who said this, Josh? Who plainly said this?
Now,
Solomon.
whether you were following the right or the wrong one, you were still following a God. Like today, you're either following God
that's right.
or you're following Satan. There's no atheist. There's no agnostic. If you are not following God, you're under Satan.
Wow. And Solomon said there's nothing new, right?
That's just clear cut. You're under Satan.
Come on.
You can't be in between.
That's right.
There's no fence straddling.
And Solomon said there's nothing new under heaven.
What did Moses say? He said, if God be God, what did Elijah say?
Joshua,
if God be God, follow him. But if Baal be God, follow him. There's no
in between.
There's no fence. You're either, in other words, what he's saying is what Elijah and Moses were saying in those 2 different accounts I was just referencing. You're either under Satan or you're under the Most High. There's no in between ground.
Yeah,
there's no atheist. There's no agnostic. There's no nothing. You're either Satan follower or you're following God.
Paul said that, didn't he? You can't drink the cup of the devil and of the Most High.
You can't do both.
You can't do both. You can't have both. It's either, my son's right, either you have religion and you're wrong, or you have him.
Regardless if you know you're wrong.
That's right.
You knowing you're wrong. See, you have to know you're wrong and change or repent.
Good.
That's what repenting is.
Amen.
Changing your mind.
That's right. Into the truth. Right, Josh?
So all the people of the families divided themselves into 3 parts. The first said, we will ascend, not go around, ascend into heaven, not around heaven.
Come on.
And fight against him. So again, all the militaries of the earth know they are at the highest level. They are set up to fight the Most High when he comes.
Watch this. You're right, John. Watch
this.
Watch. And the third part said, we will ascend to heaven and smite him with bows and spears.
So we will.
26.
Wait.
The middle of 26.
I want to show.
Okay.
Okay. And we will put our gods there. So Satan is using the militaries of the earth to eventually try to put himself back next to the Most High.
Our own gods, that's right.
He feels like he was robbed, so he's trying to use these militaries that he runs to build him a ladder and his angels back to God.
Man,
but he can't do it now.
That's right. Come on, brother.
Let's go into the book
about Enoch.
We're gonna bring it to a close. We're gonna read something.
What do you want me to
We're gonna finish in Jubilees.
I know what you want.
Or no, I'm gonna read something when we finish out of
Yeah, the Giants. Okay. R.H. Charles.
the Book of Enoch.
Oh, R.H. Charles wrote the Jubilees too. That's good, man. We got the Dead Sea Scrolls. So we're going to the Book of Enoch. We want you to follow.
Chapter 6.
And if you're new, listen, please. Hold on, Josh. If you're new listening, you need to get every month or two. We always show all the books we have, so you can require them, and please get them, please. It'll open up a highway of learning to you that it'll blow you away.
Read.
All right. Wherefore have he left a high, holy, and eternal heaven?
No, 6.
Oh,
you're in 15. Back.
Oh,
that way.
Oh, this. Oh,
that way.
Okay.
That way.
That's what I said I was going to go. Oh, you want to go here?
6.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry, Josh.
Yeah, V1 is 6.
V1. Okay. And it came to pass when the children of men had multiplied, that in those days were born unto them beautiful and comely daughters.
Come on.
And the angels.
And the who?
And the angels.
And the what?
The angels.
No, regular men.
The angels.
And the what?
The children of heaven.
The children of men.
The children of heaven.
The children of men.
The children of heaven.
So we clearly see from the Bible that the sons of God in Genesis were the children of heaven. That's or the angels.
Come on.
That's why. How can men listen to this? In Job, it says there came a time when the sons of God went to present themselves before the Most High.
The angels of God.
So those can't be men because people can't go to heaven.
That's right. So who's there talking to the Most High? Angels.
Angels. And what did and it said that Satan came in between them. Who is Satan? He's an angel.
Come on.
So start verse 2 again.
And the angels, the children of heaven, saw and lusted after them, and said one to another, Come, let us choose us wives from among the children of men, and beget us children.
So they saw these beautiful women and lusted, and like Joshua said, they raped these women. So this is why God destroyed these marriages, because they were raped. They were forcibly taken from their real husbands, and the fallen angels raped these women and made them have their children.
Wow. Let us choose us wives from among the children of men and beget us children. And Semajaz,
Samjaza,
who was their leader, said unto them, I fear ye will not indeed agree to do this deed, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin.
So they knew they were sinning.
Wow.
When they did this, right?
And they all answered him and said, Let us all swear an oath and all bind ourselves by mutual imprecations agreement, nor to abandon this plan, but to do this thing.
So
they knew it was wrong.
So these angels came together and they said, let's go ahead and do this.
Wow.
Wow. Come on,
then
man.
Swear they all together and bound themselves by mutual imprecations
upon it. And
did I say that right?
And they were all
imprecations.
In all 200 angels.
200.
Think about that. 200 angels who
descended in the day.
Who did what?
Wow, Jared, the movie Superman. Look at this.
Wait, and descended.
Wow. In the days of Jared.
Descended. So heaven is right below earth.
Look at this, Josh.
I mean, earth is below heaven. They descended. They came straight down.
Wow. Jared, on the summit of Mount what?
Hermon. Wait a minute. Let's say something about this.
Movie came from.
Let's say something about this because this is important. This is what teaching is about. So these angels lusted. That's where the sin of lust comes from. The fallen angels.
That's right.
It is wrong to manipulate a woman to have a child by her. That's what the angels did.
Right.
It is also wrong to condemn, to separate two people that love each other through a philosophical teaching that you have to have a ring on your finger before God accepts you.
Pagan ring, that's right.
Okay. But why did I highlight this? Because people don't understand portals. Okay. Again, what is a portal?
Come on.
If anyone's ever seen these sci-fi movies, Stargate. What is Stargate? Stargate is a portal or interdimensional gateway to the supernatural. So what happened was there are stargates or literal portals all over the earth. The first one being Mount Hermon in Syria near Israel. Okay.
Come on.
Why are these? Because these places are where demons or angels come down and communicate with your government, the people that rule you, over you, and they give you technology. They give them more hidden knowledge. The government is at least 50 to 60 years ahead of us technology-wise because they're dealing with the fallen angels.
That's right. They talk to them. They come down on
now,
Mount Hermon.
Not only on mountains, what are they doing when they go down in these
they call having with women.
What they call underground military. Why do they need a base underground?
Oh wow.
What are they trying to hide, or who are they? The question is not what they're trying. Well, that's too, because we don't know. They might have giants bound underneath there. But who are they trying to hide?
Okay. Wow.
They're going underneath these caves and calling angels, invoking angels to talk with them.
Right. Wow.
Now let's go to Enoch the next chapter 7. Hold on, Dad.
All right.
Enoch
and
7.
Where?
7:1.
Right here, Josh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And all the others together with them took unto themselves wives. And each chose for himself one. And they began to go in unto them to have sex and to defile themselves with them. Now, sex is not defiling anybody, but with a fallen angel, with an angel from heaven, they are. And they taught them charms.
So
and enchantments.
What is charms, witchcraft, and chants?
That's right.
Or invocation. So when these our leaders go underground or to secret place, they invoke. So this is the first time people learned how to invoke a demon or an angel.
And the cutting of roots.
So that's how to put a curse on somebody or to take a curse off of you.
Wow. And made them acquainted with plants.
What is plants? Medicinal or drugs. They showed you how to cut open a poppy plant and get cocaine or opium or marijuana.
They started
and they showed people makeup as well. Read.
And they became pregnant.
So the women became pregnant from the angels.
And they bear great giants.
Great what?
Great giants, whose height was 3,000 ills.
That's 30 to 40 feet tall.
That's about 40, 50 feet.
That's almost as tall as a tree.
Wow.
Think about it.
Oh.
Read.
And consumed all the acquisitions of men. And when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind. They started eating them.
So stop. So like I just said, if God did not destroy the earth with the flood, the giants would have eaten everybody.
Wow.
Continue.
Wow. Then the earth laid accusation against the lawless ones. For all of you sinners, there shall be no salvation, but on you all shall abide a curse.
Stop. Now, one more thing out of Enoch, then we're going to finish in Jubilees. Let's go to chapter 15 where you where you first were, and we're going to show you one more thing out of the book of Enoch. Then we are going to the book of Jubilees. Okay. So we have to Enoch, avoid
chapter what? 12, Josh? 16 or 16?
No, 15. That's 15. Yeah, XV is 15.
XV. X is 10 and V is 5. Super Bowl 5, right? Wherefore have ye left the high, holy, and eternal heaven, and lain with women, and defiled yourselves with the daughters of men, and taken to yourselves wives, and done like the children of earth, and begotten giants.
And begotten what?
And begotten giants as your sons.
So the giants are the children of the angels, or the angels in the form of men.
Now watch what he says. And though you were holy, spiritual, living the eternal life, you have defiled yourselves with the blood of women, and have begotten children with the blood of flesh. And as the children of men have lusted after flesh and blood, as those also do, who die and perish.
Therefore have I given them wives also, that they might impregnate them, and beget sons, beget children by them, that they may thus nothing might be wanting in them on earth. Read.
But you were the formerly spiritual, living the eternal life, and immortal for all generations of the world. Look at the blessing. And look what they gave up. And therefore I have not appointed wives for you. For as for the spiritual ones of the heaven, in heaven is their dwelling. And now the giants who are produced from the spirits and flesh shall be called evil spirits upon the earth.
Start that verse again, Dad.
And now the giants who were produced from the spirits and flesh shall be called evil spirits upon the earth, and on the earth shall their dwelling be.
So demon spirits are the disembodied spirits of giants. So when God destroyed the earth with the flood the first time, when the giants drowned, their spirits became demons. So now we have the origin in the Bible of demon spirits.
Wow.
Demon spirits came from giants.
So now you know when Christ casted out a demon, that's what he was doing.
He was casting out a spirit of a giant out of a person.
Wow.
So, verse
9. Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies,
right?
Because they are born from men and from the holy watchers.
From the what?
Holy watchers.
So they are born from women and angels.
In their beginning and primal origin. They shall be primal origin. And they shall be evil spirits on earth, and evil spirits shall they be called.
Read.
As for the spirits of heaven, in heaven shall be their dwelling. But as for the spirits of the earth, which were born upon the earth, on the earth shall be their dwelling.
Read.
And this, so none of what, I'm going to stop. Which says, so all evil spirits are on this earth right now.
Right, from the giants.
That's
Look
right.
at that, Dad. Wow.
No wonder there's so much murder, Josh.
And the spirits of the giants afflict, oppress, destroy.
Wow.
So whenever you see the any affliction, whether it be spiritual or physical, that is a spirit of a giant or a demon causing that.
These people that sought war, watch this, attack, do battle, work destruction on
whenever
the earth.
you see anyone causing wars, those are people being controlled by evil spirits.
Come on. And cause trouble. They take no food, but nevertheless hunger and thirst.
Thank you, Dad.
Wow. That's it.
Now we are going into the book of Jubilees, and I'm going to show our viewers. This is Jubilees chapter.
Don't bend it. Don't bend it.
Chapter 8.
Took me half an hour. All right. Okay, ready, Josh? All right, chapter 8, right here, Josh.
Hold on, Dad.
Where it says watchers, or start up here in the top. Genealogy of the descendants of Shem. Noah and his sons divide the earth.
Hold on.
All right. Don't just keep going. It says where the watchers. You want me to stop there?
This is 8 and 1. Start.
Eight,
You can
1.
start there.
In the 29th Jubilee, in the first week, in the beginning thereof, Arpachshad took to himself a wife, and her name was Artaxerxes, and Yashayah, the daughter of Susan, the daughter of Elam, and she bare him a son in the 3rd year in this week, and he called his name Camion, and his son grew, and his father taught him writing, and he went to seek for himself a place where he might size for himself a city, and he found a writing.
Now, what verse are you on?
3.
3. So, and he found a writing, read,
which former generations had carved on the rock. And he read what was thereon. And he transcribed it and sinned owing to it. For it contained the teaching of the watchers.
Of the who?
The teaching of the watchers, in accordance with which they used to observe the omens of the sun and moon and stars in all the signs of heaven.
So this thing that this individual found contained the teachings of the fallen angels. So through time, the governments have acquired these teachings. And that's how they run the earth, through the knowledge of the fallen angels.
Come on.
Hold on. And I want to show you something. And we read this.
I can't go much longer.
One more thing, Dad.
Yeah, it's just uncomfortable.
This is chapters.
Tony, as soon as you get done, just move over that way. As soon as you get done, I'm going to grab my eyes from you. Hey, this is good, Tony, huh? This is a good lesson tonight.
Chapter 10 and
they're all good.
33. Hold on.
Okay. Hey, you want to say something?
So,
yeah, go to it, Josh.
So everyone can follow.
Yes.
We prove everything here.
Prove all things. Right, Tony?
10 and 32.
All right.
Jubilees.
10, 31,
32.
right? Or 32, okay. And commanded thou the children of Israel that they observe the years according to this reckoning, 300, I like this, Josh, and 64 days, not 65. And these will constitute a complete year, and they will not disturb its time from its days and from its feast.
Hold on.
Oh, that's wrong. Yeah, that's all. We didn't know, Josh. That's good.
Hold on. I had the wrong chapter.
Okay. Now tell me, I went through these chapters. What are you looking for? Which one?
And command the children of Israel that they observe the year according to this reckoning, 364 days. 64 days.
Right.
64 days.
That's the real time.
64, not so the angels taught man how to corrupt the years.
Come on.
That was also when we just read in the book of Jubilees about how they observed the omens of the sun and moon.
Right, right.
That's how the calendars got switched. Wow. Because they started teaching men how to go by the moon, not the sun.
So Babylon, Rome, they all picked this up.
Yeah, from the fallen angels.
Wow. And Greece. Wow.
Look at this. And if they I'm gonna show. I'm gonna close in Timothy. I'll read in something in Timothy after this. And if they neglect to not observe his commandments, that they disturb all the seasons of the year and dislodge it. Okay, so when they started to make these calendars, they started dislodging the times.
They were breaking the order of the Most High world that He made. And that's why, Tony, we have so much weather out of control. Tony, yeah, that's why, brother, because of those off years.
So, and the children of Israel will forget and not find the path of the year.
Wow.
And they will forget
the
new moon and the seasons and the Sabbaths, and will go astray.
Look at that.
As to the order of the year. So because of this, now the children of Israel under these nations have been taught to follow everything wrong.
Wow. And Josh, did you ever read the end of it?
For I know that henceforth I will declare unto you that it is not for my my own devising, for the book is written before thee, and on the heavenly tables, and the division of days is ordained, that they will forget the feast of the covenant and walk according to the feast of the Gentiles.
Wow.
And after their ignorance. So what happened was that the children of Israel, based on, now we know this happened throughout, but in especially here, Esau gave them completely, the same customs in Babylon, Greece, and all that. But now they taught them that the Bible supports it. That's the difference. The Greeks, the Romans, and the other Gentile nations that enslaved the children of Israel in the ancient world didn't try to take the Bible and make their customs that they were following sound biblical. But now Esau has set up a religion to teach the children of Israel, the Negroes, and the other Israelite tribes, that it is just to follow their wicked holidays with the Bible.
Oh, wow. Josh, read the end of that, where it says they would even start eating flesh, blood, raw meat.
For there will be some of them that will surely make observations of the moon, just like the fallen angels started to teach men. Now, these assuredly disturb the seasons, for one is for and come in year to year 10 days too soon, so you don't get a complete year with the moon calendar or a lunar calendar. Why? Because God created the earth to operate off a solar calendar or a sun time.
That's right.
That's why everyone used to have sundials.
Wow.
Because that's how you measure the time, by the sun, not the lesser light or the moon.
That's awesome.
For this reason, the years will come upon them when they will disturb the order. They will assuredly make an abominable day, the day of testimony.
Look at that. Look at that.
So through these religions, they taught the children of Israel to make their holidays or their satanic feasts,
like Christmas,
testimony days, or holy days.
Wow.
Okay? So we know we're not supposed to follow Christmas, Easter, or any of these pagan Babylonian holidays.
And we don't.
So
that's right.
It's good to have this knowledge. That's why you should try to get these lost books, the Apocrypha, the Book of Enoch, the Book of Jubilees, the Book of Jasher. Okay?
Well, did you ever wonder why, folks, your weather's out of control? It's not because you live in Florida. It's all over the world. The weather's out of control because of this. That's why you have these hurricanes, these storms. The earth is off its course.
I want to show, and this is where I want to close with this. Okay. Avoid lies. Beware of lies.
That's right.
This is Timothy 6:3. 1 Timothy 6:3.
Great chapter.
If any man teach otherwise,
come on,
and not consent to wholesome words, even the words of our Messiah, Yashayah,
the Lord, the Sabbaths,
Hamashiach, or that's Christ in Hebrew, Hamashiach or Messiah, Christ the Messiah, and to the doctrine which is according to godliness,
he is proud.
He is proud, knowing nothing.
Knowing everything.
Knowing nothing. So anyone that teaches you that these, and we're going to show you that these books are not inspired, the books we just showed you, the Apocrypha, the Jubilees, Enoch, and Jasher are foolish. They know nothing. They don't know what they're talking about.
Come on.
Because all these books are inspired.
The Apocrypha's got awesome books in there, the 14 books.
Okay?
It's awesome, brother.
So you can't tell me that none of those books I just showed you are not inspired, because they are. Okay, so nothing dotting about questions of words. So when you don't have, again, I'll show you these books here. The book of Enoch, and these books here, right?
Come on, Josh, that's right.
You will dot about with questions, because the Bible, the Bible in certain areas leaves off in certain, and there's not saying that's bad, but it doesn't tell you the complete story of what happened. For the purpose of certain things, like if we didn't show you, like in the book of Jubilees, about the Tower of Babel, you would have never understood what the purpose of the Tower of Babel was. The Tower of Babel was built so that the fallen angels could eventually try to go into heaven and fight the Most High using men. Okay? Perverse disputing of men, corrupt of mind, and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain was godliness, from such withdraw yourself.
Get away from them.
For they that will be rich will fall into temptation and a snare, and into many hurtful and foolish lusts, which drown men in perdition and destruction. For the love of money is the root of all evil, and they that coveted after, in other words, when you make a covenant with money, or what did Satan tried to make Christ do? Whenever you make a covenant with the system of this world, the system owns you. You become a slave to the system.
Slave, that's right.
So you must do what they tell you to do. You lose, and that means you must do rituals behind when you're not on the camera. You must worship Satan to maintain. You must sell your soul to maintain your wealth, or they'll take your money and put you on the street. Okay? That goes for any movie star, athlete, and these big TV preachers. They're all under Satan. Everything on TV is under the devil.
Your presidents too.
Everything under TV is
mayors.
Everything that is televised is under Satan.
That's right.
Okay? So, I'll put us back on before we close.
Good lesson, Josh. Good lesson, brother. Good lesson, Tony.
Yeah.
They're all good. They're all good. They're getting better and better. There's the real Christ.
So
We have the real
again,
Christ.
you should try to get these books.
Go a little closer. Show them the book of Enoch. Watch your wine. Enoch, Yashayah.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the original King James Bible with the Apocrypha in it, with the 14 books.
Mm-hmm.
Has it been a blessing? You better believe it. It's been a blessing to have these books.
So with that, we say shalom.
Shalom.